Where are we going? Where are we going? Yeah. I'm in a good mood today. How everybody doing today? Huh? Hope everybody doing fine because I'm doing fine as wine. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? That was from a movie back in the day called Warriors. I saw that movie again. I watched the movie, came out in the 70s, and I was a teenager. I watched that movie again about a few weeks ago, right? It wasn't like it was back then. I mean, I saw it on the big screen, me and my boy, you know. He was like young teenager, about 14. And we were like, wow, Warriors. You know, the movie was so good, you know, about this gang, you know. They go to this big, huge gang conference with all the gangs all over New York. And and they meet at this point in this big old park. So this one guy, he was like trying to bring all the gangs together in New York so they could take over New York. Basically, because the police wouldn't be able to handle all the gangs that they unite at one. And somebody killed them right there at the you know, gang conference, if you will. And so they blamed it on the Warriors. So the Warriors, the whole time the movie is all about them getting back to their borough. I forget. I think they were from the Bronx or Brooklyn, one of those. And the guy that was trying to bring all the gangs together and stuff at the conference, that's what he said. Yeah, Warriors, everyone, not just Warriors, but we need to come together. We need to come together. If we unite, we will be unstoppable. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? I ain't making this up. That's what he was saying. Y'all need to check that movie out. It's an old movie called Warriors. Anyway, I just think back in the times when I was young. And children, man, you young people today, they don't have it like, I don't know, times are so different now. You know, but all boys would always be the same. Boys will be we weren't bad, we were just mischievous back in the days, you know, and I still see that today. You know, boys, even though they got new things going on, the fangled thing, they got the, you know, this is the electronic age now, and they're playing their video games and stuff like that. You know, we didn't have video games. We used to have to make our toys up and stuff out of sticks and stuff. We made skateboards out of, you know, roller skates, you know, nail them to a board, you know, 2x4, and then turn it over, put a milk carton box, wooden box on it, and put sticks on the side, and that was our skateboard. You know, now they got this remote, you know, these motorized electric skateboards now. We had to be creative, you know. I mean, our parents got us stuff like that for Christmas and all that stuff, you know, back in the days. But, you know, after a while, that got old. You know what it seemed like, you know, this is true. You know, when you buy a child a toy or something like that, that child, you know, you spend all the money for this toy with this child. I'm talking about real young children. They'll play with that toy for about maybe a day. Then after that, they go on and play with something else, like a bottle cap top or something like that. You be like, dang, you know, I spent all this money for this toy. You play with a bottle cap top? Oh man, I remember when we was younger, well, we was like, well, we was a little mischievous. I never forget one time my older brother, right? We were kids. I never forget. You know, when you got cookies and stuff like that, that was like for, you know, that was like gold, you know. And this wasn't always doing the opposite of what I wanted to do. That's what it's the price you know, it's the things you gotta go through sometimes, you know, when you get a 21-year-old vehicle. And so I never forget my brothers, man, and his friends, they came up to me, hey, you want a cookie? And I'm like, nah. I'm like, first I thought about, like, yeah, it was one of those cookies with, you know, had the icing on it, them big cookies. Like back in the days, you know, we used to be able to go to the corner store and we'll you know, you could buy cookies single, like penny cookies. You know, they cost like a penny, and they kept them in the big jars, and you just tell the man behind the counter, you know, little corner grocery store, what you wanted, and he'll get, like, you know, tongs and take the cookie out of the big jar, however many you want. You know, you could get like 3 for 5 cents. You know, it was like back then. You know, and man, this icing cookie with the icing on top, man, that was like the Cadillac of cookies back then, right? So I was like, yeah, you know, my eyes got big and stuff like that. And then I was getting ready to reach for it, right? And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. My older brother being generous enough to give me a cookie? That registered in my head. I was like, nah. They said, come on, it's a good cookie, man. Yeah, take it. And he was standing there with, it was him, my cousin. Yeah, it was not a friend. It was him and 2 of my cousins, my first cousins. So we were standing, I was like, nah. Because like, it's like the older brother and the older cousins, you know, and me and my other cousin, we were younger and we was tight, you know, so it was like that, you know, when you're younger. So it was my older brother and my older cousin. They were together, like, man, come on, man, let's get a cookie, man, it's good. I was like, why you give me the cookie? Because, you know, we got a lot of them. We just want to share. I'm like, yeah, right. You ain't want to share. I was like, nah, I don't want it. So all of a sudden they started busting out laughing, right? And they said, and I was like, why y'all laughing? They said, because it was this female named Odessa. They said, because Odessa peed on the cookie.